Chapter 1. What avoidants feel when they love you but can't show it. Here's what I think. People seriously underestimate how intense things get inside an avoidant's head. Like you see someone acting calm, distant, chilled out. But inside? Bro, it's a full-blown emotional traffic jam. And you won't believe this, but avoidants actually feel a lot when they love someone. They just don't know what to do with those feelings. It's like giving a sensitive kid a bomb and saying, "Here, hold this. Don't drop it." So obviously they freeze. And I'm telling you straight, when an avoidant falls for someone, the first thing they feel is panic, not joy, not butterflies, not excitement, just straight up emotional chaos. Can you imagine that? You're just standing there, being normal, being kind, caring about them. And they're inside their head like, why is this person getting so close? What do I do with this? What if I lose them? What if I disappoint them? What if they hurt me? What if I mess this up? Why am I even feeling this much? It's like their brain goes into emergency mode for no actual emergency. And the funny part? They don't want to push you away. They just don't trust themselves to handle closeness. Here's something people don't get. Avoidants don't avoid you. They avoid the feelings that you trigger. Big difference. And you know what's ironic? The more they love you, the more scared they get. It's backwards, but that's how they're wired. Think of it like this. They want you. They fear losing you. They fear being seen. They fear needing you. And somehow, all of that makes them hide from you. Wild, right? It's like a person craving warmth, but stepping back every time they feel heat. And here's the thing that nobody talks about. Avoidants are not emotionless robots. They're actually hypersensitive. They're just terrible at handling that sensitivity. So they use distance as a shield. Well, they don't want to show love. They want to feel safe showing love. But the problem is, love itself doesn't feel safe to them. What do you think so far? Like, imagine caring about someone so much that your instinct is to run because you think you'll ruin it. It's messed up, but it's real. And I'll tell you the weirdest part. Avoidants notice everything. They just don't comment. They don't praise. They don't express. Not because they don't want to, but because they're scared of the reaction it might create. If they tell you they love you, what then? Will you expect more? Will you come closer? Will you rely on them? Will they disappoint you? It's funny how people think avoidants are cold. Nah, they're overwhelmed. Love for them is like stepping into deep water without knowing how to swim. They want to go in, but the fear of drowning is stronger than the desire to jump. Let me tell you something that avoidants never admit. They replay moments with you. They think about what you said. They remember tiny details. They notice your mood shifts. They think about messaging you. They type, delete, type again, delete again. They stalk your social media quietly. They wonder if you're mad at them. They miss you more than they'll ever confess. They feel everything, but express nothing. So when you look at them and think, he doesn't care, or she's moved on, or they're not affected, you're dead wrong. Avoidants care like hell. They just don't know how to let you see it without feeling exposed. And you won't believe this. The moment you step back, the moment you stop overgiving, the moment you stop chasing, that's when all their hidden feelings rise up and slap them in the face. Suddenly, the distance they created starts hurting them. They don't show it, but they feel it. Hard. And here's where it gets interesting. Avoidants don't pull away because they don't love you. They pull away because they do. It sounds stupid, I know. But when love feels dangerous, distance feels safe. And avoidants choose safety over closeness every time, until they trust you enough not to disappear on them. You ever notice how avoidants get soft in tiny moments? A small smile. A slightly longer reply. A random thoughtful message. A late-night call. That microsecond of vulnerability? Yeah, that's them letting their guard slip because their feelings leak out even when they try to hide them. Avoidants love quietly, not loudly, not dramatically, not verbally, quietly. Their actions whisper the feelings their mouth can't say. Chapter 2. What avoidants feel when they love you but can't show it. Alright, so let's pick up from where we left off. Because the inside of an avoidant's mind? Bro, it's not calm. It's basically a constant emotional earthquake. Here's what I think. If you really want to understand avoidance, you have to stop looking at their behavior and start looking at their fear system. Because that's what controls everything. Not logic, not love, not intentions, just raw, unfiltered fear. And you won't believe this. Avoidants fear love more than heartbreak. Yeah, I know, sounds crazy. But really think about it. Heartbreak happens later. Love happens now. Heartbreak is one big punch. Love is constant vulnerability. One big punch is easier to survive than daily exposure. Makes sense, right? Avoidants prefer predictable pain over unpredictable closeness. And the moment they start loving someone, boom, unpredictability everywhere. Feelings are unpredictable. Attachment is unpredictable. People are unpredictable. So their brain goes, buddy, get out of here before this becomes too real. And the worst part? They actually hate themselves for doing that. You ever notice how avoidants look guilty when they pull away? Like they're not comfortable with their own actions? Yeah, that's because they aren't. They're fighting two battles at the same time. One part of them wants love. The other part wants to run, and both parts are equally strong. So they freeze, they shut down, they go silent. Not because they stopped loving you, but because they don't know which side to listen to. Let me tell you something real. Avoidants don't walk away because they don't care. They walk away because caring feels dangerous. Loving someone means you can be hurt. Being close means you can be abandoned. Opening up means someone can see your weaknesses. And avoidance? They would rather walk barefoot on broken glass than let someone see their weak spots. So what do? They hide. They joke. They deflect. They change the topic. They act unbothered. They pretend nothing affects them. But inside they're like, damn, why do I feel so much? Why can't I just chill? Why am I overthinking this? Why does it hurt? Why am I scared? And here's the part nobody talks about. Avoidants don't know how to receive love. They know how to suffer quietly. They know how to survive alone. They know how to distance. They know how to pretend. But receiving real love? Bro, that's alien to them. If someone says, hey, I'm here for you, they don't feel comfort. They feel pressure. If someone says, I love you, they don't feel happiness. They feel fear of disappointing you. If someone gets too close, they don't feel connection. They feel exposed. It's messed up, but it's their default wiring. You know what's funny? Avoidants crave the same things they fear. Intimacy, loyalty, emotional connection, someone who gets them. But the moment they get it, they freeze like a deer staring at headlights. Ever seen an avoidant fall in love? It's hilarious and heartbreaking at the same time. They get quiet. They get weird. They get awkward. They act like nothing is happening, but everything is happening. They love deeply, but act shallow. They feel intensely, but express weakly. They break inside, but look fine outside. It's like their emotions are trapped behind a locked door and they lost the key years ago. And here's a brutal truth. Avoidants don't trust happiness. It feels temporary. It feels unsafe. It feels like a trap. So if someone makes them happy, they start thinking, how long before this ends? What if they leave? What if I mess it up? What if they get tired of me? And when these thoughts hit, they pull away, not because you did anything wrong, but because their trauma is stronger than their feelings. But here's something even more interesting. Avoidants don't want space. They want safe space. Huge difference. Space is distance. Safe space is closeness without pressure. And here's a big secret they'll never admit. When the person they love acts calm, steady, and non-reactive, avoidants start feeling safe. Their guard drops. Their tension melts. They slowly come forward, not because they're suddenly brave, but because the environment feels less threatening. Avoidants need someone who doesn't freak out when they pull back, someone who doesn't cling, someone who doesn't demand emotional performance, someone who stays consistent without forcing anything. That's when avoidants finally breathe. And you won't believe this. They love hardest when they feel the safest. Not when you chase. Not when you beg. Not when you push, but when you stay centered. Ever wonder why avoidants come back after distance? Because distance is their comfort zone. And when they calm down, they remember who made them feel safe. They don't show love loudly. They show it quietly. Through small gestures. Through presence. Through showing up in weird, unexpected ways. And I'm telling you, avoidants love in a way that hits deep. It's not dramatic. It's not cinematic. It's not perfect. But it's real. Chapter 3. What avoidants feel when they love you but can't show it. Okay, so let's get into the part everyone gets confused about. How avoidants show love when they're terrified of showing love. Here's what I think. Avoidants don't express feelings the way normal people do. They're not going to text you long paragraphs. They're not going to give dramatic confessions. They're not going to say, "I miss you," even when they're literally dying inside. Instead, they show love in tiny, subtle, almost invisible ways. And the sad part? Most people miss those signs completely. You ever seen an avoidant do something really small but weirdly thoughtful? Like asking if you reached home safely, checking something you said last week, remembering your favorite food, sending a random meme at 2 a.m., fixing something for you without mentioning it, sitting near you quietly, showing up when you need help, giving you space without making you feel abandoned. Those things? That's their version of "I care about you more than I can say." You won't believe this. Avoidants love with actions, not words. Words scare them. Words feel dangerous. Words create expectations. Words make them feel vulnerable. But actions? Actions feel safe. Actions don't expose them. Actions let them love from behind the emotional wall. Ever notice how an avoidant doesn't open up, but listens to everything you say? Yeah, that's them loving you silently. They don't say, "I love you," but they'll notice when your mood changes. They don't say, "I miss you," but they'll check your social media at 3 a.m. They don't say, "I need you," but they'll get scared when you pull away. Their love is quiet, hidden, under the surface, but it's there, undeniable. Let me break down the specific signs. 1. They get awkward around you. Not cute awkward. Not teenage crush awkward. More like "my emotions are malfunctioning. Please reboot" awkward. They avoid eye contact. They fidget. They act weird. They try to look chill but clearly aren't. That's love leaking out, bro. 2. They give you space but still stay connected. An avoidant won't smother you. Ever, but they'll keep some thread of connection alive. Like, "Did you eat? Where are you?" Be safe. Small check-ins. Small care. Small presence. That's love avoidant style. 3. They do things for you quietly. No announcement. No bragging. They'll help you, fix things, support you, without ever saying it out loud. They don't want praise. They don't want recognition. They just want to feel useful to you. It's their way of feeling close without risking vulnerability. 4. They get jealous, but silently. Avoidants won't say, "Who is that guy?" or "Why is she texting you?" But trust me, they're watching. They'll go quiet. The vibe changes. They get cold. Not angry, just distant. That distance? That's jealousy they don't know how to express. 5. They open up in microdoses. Avoidants don't open their entire heart at once. They open it like a slow-loading website. One small confession. One childhood memory. One fear. One vulnerability. Each time they open up even a little, it means they trust you with something they never trust anyone with. 6. They come back after pulling away. This is the biggest sign. Normal people come back because they miss you. Avoidants come back because the distance hurts more than the fear. Think about it. If closeness scares them and distance hurts them, that means they're stuck loving you from a place that's painful either way. And somehow, they still choose you? That's not small. That's not casual. That's not just talking. That's deep, confusing, raw attachment. Here's something you won't read in psychology books. Avoidants love intensely, but they love privately. It's not that they can't love, it's that they can't love in a way that exposes them. So they do everything indirectly. They'll look at you when you're not looking. They'll care when you're not noticing. They'll miss you when you're not around. They'll think about you constantly, but tell no one. Avoidants have this habit of building a whole emotional world around you, inside their head that they never share. And you know what's tragic? They hide the best parts of their love. The gentle parts, the caring parts, the vulnerable parts, the loyal parts. Not because they don't want to show it, but because they don't trust that it'll be received safely. Let's be real. Avoidants aren't scared of loving someone. They're scared of being loved back in a way they don't know how to handle. Love demands presence. Love demands communication. Love demands vulnerability. And avoidants feel like they're failing at all of that, even when they're trying. So instead of giving more, they give less. Not because they love less, but because the fear is more. Crazy, right? And the wildest part? Avoidants actually appreciate the person they love more than they show. But they're afraid of showing appreciation because it feels like surrender. Here's what I mean. If they tell you, "You mean a lot to me," they feel exposed. If they say, "I care about you," they feel vulnerable. If they admit, "I think about you," they feel weak. So they keep it all inside. All that love, all that care, all that attachment. Silent, internal, unspoken. But trust me, they feel everything. Chapter 4. What avoidants feel when they love you, but can't show it. Okay, so now we're entering the deepest layer. The part avoidants never talk about, never admit, never show, but always feel. Here's what I think. When an avoidant loves you, their inner world becomes a war zone. Not a small fight, not a little confusion. A full-blown emotional battlefield. You won't believe this, but they feel love as danger, not comfort. So instead of thinking, "Wow, this feels good," they think, "Damn, this could destroy me." Sounds dramatic, but for them it's real. You ever seen someone look totally calm on the outside, while inside they're panicking like a trapped animal? That's an avoidant in love. And the craziest part? They feel love more intensely than secure people, but express it less. Imagine a heart that's overflowing, but the person holding it is scared to spill even a drop. That's how avoidants operate. The internal spiral no one sees. Let's break down what actually happens inside them when they start caring. 1. I want this person. They feel drawn to you. Your presence calms them. Your energy feels familiar. You feel like home. 2. But getting close feels dangerous. Their mind starts screaming at them. What if this ends badly? What if I get dependent? What if I mess this up? What if they leave? 3. I should step back before I get hurt. Their fear tells them, create distance. Stay safe. So they pull away, not because of you, because of their fear. 4. Why do I miss them so much? Distance doesn't actually help. It makes them think about you more. It makes them crave you more. It makes them anxious. 5. Should I go back? Now they're stuck. If they stay distant, they feel lonely. If they come close, they feel scared. So they hover, half in, half out. Not gone, but not fully present. 6. I hope they don't give up on me. This is the part people don't realize. Avoidants get scared you will walk away. They just hide it extremely well. But the truth is, they care too much, that's the problem. What they feel but never say. Avoidants won't tell you this, but here's what's actually running through their mind when they love you. I hope you don't get tired of me. I wish I could tell you how much you matter. I'm scared of needing you. I don't know how to be close without messing it up. I think about you more than you think. I miss you but don't know how to say it. I'm terrified you'll leave if you see the real me. They're not emotionless. They're overwhelmed, not cold. Just scared, not distant, just defensive. When avoidants finally realize they love you, there's a moment. It doesn't happen fast. It doesn't happen easily, but it hits them out of nowhere. And it's when they realize, this person didn't walk away. This person didn't pressure me. This person didn't punish me for being scared. This person feels safe. And that's when their guard starts cracking. You ever see an avoidant suddenly become gentle? Soft? More present? More consistent? That's emotional trust. Something they give to almost no one. And you won't believe this. Avoidants love forever, not temporarily. Once you get in, you don't leave their system for a long time. Even if they pull away. Even if they go silent. Even if they act detached. Their attachment doesn't disappear. It just hides. That's why so many avoidants come back after months. Not because they're playing games, but because their feelings never left. What finally makes an avoidant open up? Let me be real here. You cannot force an avoidant to change. You cannot love them hard enough into intimacy. You cannot chase them into security. Actually, chasing does the opposite. It makes them pull back harder. You know what works? Consistency without pressure. Closeness without demand. Warmth without chaos. Independence that shows I'm here, but I don't need to control you. Emotional stability. Clear boundaries. No drama, no mind games, no overreaction. Avoidants don't open up because someone pushes them. They open up because someone makes closeness feel safe. And once they feel safe, their real personality comes out. Funny, warm, loyal, protective. Way more emotional than anyone expects. You'll see small changes first. Longer conversations, more eye contact. Deeper answers, real vulnerability. Them initiating connection. Them trying, even if awkwardly. Them staying present instead of retreating. For an avoidant, these things are huge. Bigger than any, I love you. Here's the final truth, the part people misunderstand the most. Avoidants don't love less. They love differently. More quietly. More inwardly. More intensely. More permanently. Their fear doesn't erase their feelings. It only hides them. If an avoidant loves you, they love you deeply, silently, loyally, in a way that scares the hell out of them. And the craziest part? They'll show their love when they think it's safe enough to be seen. Until then, their love stays hidden, but real, very real.